Yeah, Bill again. Hold on a minute. Just lost my job now. Bill. No longer a postman. They're giving me my final pay packet. About 800, well, 750 quid or something after tax. 25 years I worked at the post office. I got sacked for pissing in a bush. I lost my job after 25 years for pissing in a bush. I'm Bill, the ex-postman. So, they sacked me and I said to the union bloke that all you do is sit on your arse. I wrote it in a letter. I said all you do is sit on your arse all day in front of a computer or whatever. That's all I said. Sit on your arse. I do that every day when I'm writing my songs. Anyway, so I got sacked from the post office now, so I don't work for the Royal Mail no more, so I don't work for them at all. So, I'm free. But you get a pittance from the fucking, what's it called, Universal Credit site. I don't know what's going on with that yet. I'll find that out tomorrow. But the point is, I've just lost my job, because I always pissed in bushes. When I was a postman for 25 years, man, I was a fucking postman. Billy the postman. Who remembers Billy the postman? I was a postman for 25 fucking years, right? And they sacked me for pissing in a bush and saying to somebody that you sit on your arse all day because you never do any work. The point of the union was to look after the people. The problem was that it was the union who originally fought to get the 6-day week down to a 5-day week at the post office. See, it was the union who fought to get the week down from a 6-day to a 5-day week. And now I was getting forced to work 6 days a week. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what time does that give me for myself? So anyway, I pissed in a bush and I wrote a letter that said, you fucking sit on your arse while I do all the fucking work, pulling the bags around the fucking block and delivering all the letters and doing all the work while you sit on your arse. And I got sacked for it because someone passed the letter around. But fuck it. I got about 800 quid for it at the end of the day, I suppose. Bunch of wankers. But I didn't like the kit anyway. It was getting a bit nasty down there. I don't like being told what to do all the time. Taking away my freedom of choice. First you work 6 days, then you work 5 days, and they tell you have to work 6 days. And I say, fuck off. How many days a week are there? Anyway, more to the point, I'm losing my home this week. They want me to move out of Queensway House. I had a great idea for Queensway House. I was going to turn it into a bloody business, man. I could have turned Queensway House into a fucking business to have a lot of fun and money and make money. What I wanted to do, this is what I wanted to do. They're going to demolish Queensway House for definite now. I'm losing my home next week, probably. Probably next week I'm losing my home. So this is what, and they want to demolish Queensway House. What I wanted to do with Queensway House in Hatfield, Hertfordshire, I wanted to turn the bedsits into things like art galleries and libraries and video sort of like cinemas and art studios. And I was going to, what I wanted to do is get everybody to sort of like get comfortable, sort of make a nice colourful it's only a tower block. A tower block is about the same size as a house. Well, it's the same size as a big house, or a couple of houses basically. It only feels a little square in the entire town. Queensway House only feels a little square in Hatfield town. Right in the centre of it actually. But what I wanted to do was sort of like house all the homeless in Hatfield, in Queensway House. Let them live here for free, obviously, because if they're on benefit, they should get free housing anyway. So let them live here for free. And then they could help me paint the walls. Because all the walls are brick, they're grey brick. And I thought, well, if we paint the bricks a different colour on every floor, You know, like you move sort of like 4 people into every floor of Queensway House and use the studios for businesses and stuff. You could do a psychedelic paint job on the walls, make it really colourful on every floor, and then you could sort of like repair the concrete over all the problems in the hallway. You know, there's cracks in the concrete, so all you got to do is give it another coat of concrete. And then what you do, right, is you sort of clear all the stacks from underneath at the bottom of Queensway House. You know where the shed that goes downwards. They tried clearing the stacks from the top of Queensway House, but it's silly really, because all you're doing is pushing the shit deeper down into the fucking sewer sort of thing, which is sort of the block, I think, the pipes. If you want to clear a sewer, you have to clear it from underneath. You find out what toilet is being blocked, on what floor, and then you clear the stacks on the floor below it, because that is obviously where the blockage is, you see. But you don't think of these things. I bet you could have housed all the homeless, and then you could have given some of the empty flats to students and stuff. And you could turn the bed sits into like businesses, like you could have an office in one of the bed sits, or you could have an office. In another of the bed sits you could have a video library. Another of the bed sits you could have a video film studio. In another one you could have an art studio. In another one of the empty bed sits. And then as you go down, you sort of like fill up all the rooms and you fill up all the flats quite easily. I could do it. And then I don't really want to move. I'm getting kicked out next week. This is my last chance to fucking stay here. Custard's last dance. Kind of like Custard's last dance. Custard's last dance, is it? Custard's last stand. Custard's last stand. I live at 50 Queensway House and I've lived here very lovely for 25 years. But now I've got to move to the common Lafayette Court downstairs. But I love it up here. I love living in the sky. I don't want to move. I really don't want to move. Did you know that Grenfell Towers is still standing? Do you remember Grenfell Towers? When it got burnt to the ground, yeah? Basically, Grenfell Towers got completely and utterly gutted, didn't it? Gutted. Do you remember that fire on a Thursday night? There was a fire on a Thursday night, Grenfell Towers, and it burnt to the ground, sort of thing. But actually, I was watching a YouTube thing, and actually Grenfell Towers has been declared as structurally safe. Did you know, even though Grenfell Towers in London was the block that caught fire, right? It caught fire and it burnt to the ground. But the block is still there. All the concrete, all the structure is still there. And it has been declared structurally safe. So why the fuck do you want to demolish Queensway House? Why the fuck do you want to demolish Queensway House? It's structurally safe, obviously. And I've taken off all the cladding that was, inflammable or whatever. You don't need fire wardens in a fucking tower block. All you need is a fire extinguisher on every floor. Simply a fire extinguisher on every floor would do the job just as well. But anyway, I'm talking blabbering and shit. But anyway, I've been sacked from a job, so I'm no longer Bill the postman because I've lost my job. Because I pissed in a bush. I needed to urinate because my bladder was full, you see. Because my bladder was full, I needed to urinate. So I thought, there's a bush, concealed bush, and I went behind the bush and I took a piss. And now I've lost my fucking job. You know what I mean? So now, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Consider yourself at home. Consider yourself one of the family. There isn't a lot to spare. Who cares? Whatever we got, we share. Have a chance to be, we should see some holidays. Empty holidays, white grouse. And you find somebody to foot the bill. And the drinks are on the house. Consider yourself at home. Consider yourself one of the family. There isn't a lot to spare. Who cares? Whatever we got, we share. The chance to be, we should see some holidays. Empty holidays, white grouse. And you find somebody to fit the bill. Then the drinks are on the house. What's the rest of it go like? Consider yourself well in. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, now I'm going to lose my home soon, so we're fucked, basically. This is one of the last films I'm ever going to make, because hopefully I'll be dropped down dead soon. No, I'm serious. I've had enough of life. I'm really pissed off with it, actually. I don't want to start again somewhere else. I would rather drop down dead than move somewhere else and start again. What sort of a life is it, man? You know, you spend 25 years building your world, building your life around you. And then it all goes flop and you lose your home, you lose your job, you lose everything you've ever fucking got. And then you've got to try and put it all back together, but you never will. It's a load of bullshit, innit? I didn't come all this way to be treated like shit by a wanker like you. I did not come all this way to be treated like a piece of shit on your shoe. And that is all I ever am to you, innit? A piece of fucking shit on your fucking shoe. That's all I mean to you. Wash your face, cut your hair, find a nice new suit to wear. Wipe your eyes, dry your tears. Fucking hell, I've forgotten the words now. Wash your face, cut your hair, find a nice new suit to wear. Dry your eyes, wipe your tears. Oh, fuck it, I don't care. I don't fucking care no more. Once upon a time I thought that all you needed was love. What a stupid thing to think about that was. There's no hope in this fucking world, man. I would rather die sooner than later. I've had enough. I have really had enough of your fucking bullshit. Enough bullshit to fill me for 1,000 fucking years. You are so full of fucking shit. So am I. What the fuck do you really expect me to do? Wave a magic wand and say everything's going to be alright? Because we're all up into our necks and shit. The government treats us like shit. Why do we vote for politicians who make you pay for medicine? Now, if I was American, or English even, how about if I was Prime Minister, I would say free medicine for everybody. First priority. First priority of a government is to look after the people. The first priority of a government is to take care of the people. First thing I would do if I was in power is say free medicine for everybody in the entire world. Right? That's if I was going for election. If I was going to sort of like conquer the world or whatever. The very first thing I would do if I wanted to conquer the world was say free medicine for everybody in the entire world. No need for medical insurance, no need for funeral insurance, no need for anything like that. Free medicine, free hospitals, free treatment for everybody in the entire world. Now that is my first thing I would do. If I was going to go and try and get into politics, get into power, first thing, number one, free medicine. Absolutely free medicine for everybody. No prescription charges. Absolutely free medicine for everybody in the entire world. Number one. That's my number one priority. If I was getting into power, number one priority, free medicine for everybody. Number two priority, house everybody in the entire world. That is my number two priority. First of all, I would house all the homeless in Queensway House. So first of all, I would house all the homeless in Queensway House. This is my second priority after medicine. Second priority would be to house all the homeless in Hatfield in Queensway House and house all the homeless. House all the homeless in the entire world. Right? Free of charge. Priority number three. A 10% tax for everybody. That's my priority number three. A 10% tax for everybody in the entire world. If you're rich, you got £1 billion, 10% a week. That would be £100 million a week you have to pay. Every single millionaire or billionaire in the entire world would have to pay 10%. Everybody would have to pay 10%. If you've got 10 pence, I will tax you 1 penny. Honestly, if I was in power and you had 10p, I would tax you 1 penny. Now, if you got £1,000, I will tax you £100. Right? So we scrap all the other taxes, right? No other taxes at all. Just one single goat tax. One single goat tax. Just one tax. 10%. If you've got 10 goats, I'll take 1 goat. If you've got 1 goat, well, I cut it in half and feed 2 people. 2 families. Right, so you get 10% tax, one single 10% tax, no other. So if you owe £100, you get paid £10 a week, right? If you owe £100, I would pay you £10 because it's 10% tax. 10% of minus £100 is £10. Yes? Yes. Therefore, if you owe £100, you get paid £10. If you owe £1,000, you get paid £100. But if you have £1,000, I will take £100. If you have £1 billion, I'll take £100 million a week. 10% tax to feed, clothe, house, educate every single person on this entire planet for one single 10% goat tax. I could do that if I was in power. If I was in power, I could stay here in Queensway House. But I'm losing my home next week and I'll have to start again somewhere else. And I don't want to start again somewhere else because the empty flats need filling and there are plenty of homeless people who could use a home. Have you seen The Block? That's very good. It was on Amazon.